Hello everyone, it's Brother Paul here. I am going to start with this first dream and it'll be audio only, so I will do my best to be able to get you guys to understand and hopefully you can visualize what it is I'm trying to say. So this is a dream, a vision, and a sound I heard in the night in not the order I'll tell you. So this was one of those ones I didn't want to share, and depending on how this is interpreted properly to those of you listening to this, you will see or understand how serious this could be. So this is one that I was searching the web for confirmation and I couldn't believe it. I watched a video which I will show. It was the Prophecy Watchers. They had a guest speaker, Billy Crone, and he was showing the subject was point of no return, which will give you confirmation and see if you guys can pick it up as you watch it maybe first and then you come back to listen to this. So I'll start off with this happened on the 13th of June. I was awoken at 1:06 in the morning, excuse me, and all I saw in this flash vision was I saw an orange and white emergency traffic cone. And it blinked and it startled me right out of sleep. And I'm like, oh, wow. And I prayed to the Lord. And, I said, if this is not of you, God, the typical, I rebuked the bad spirits and I accepted it if it was from God. Went back to bed. I was awoken an hour later at 2:02 a.m. and I heard a very clear audio sound of a baby crying. So that woke me up too, and I was looking around in the dark and I said the same thing. I rebuke you if you're from the devil, and same thing, if it's from you, Jesus, I accept it. And I fell asleep again. And I woke up. This time I didn't write the time down, so this was the dream, and I will attempt to find pictures, hopefully to help this one. But this is one of the not of the craziest ones, so I might actually be able to find these ones. So this is what it was. I saw a little black boy and he was walking through a neighborhood that was incredibly poor, and there was absolute neglect everywhere. Like this was the poorest of the poorest, and people were so poor they were naked. Most of them were walking around naked, and I saw people lying on the ground, lying in the ditches. I don't know if it's because they were sick or no energy or dying. I'm not sure. But I did walk by this one ditch and it caught my attention because I saw pillows that were gray and brown piled all over each other. And I reached down to touch one and it was made of ceramic material, which confused me. So I continued to walk along this kind of a mud road, and everybody was using everybody. And this, again, I apologize for what I am about to say, but I saw women being used by young men in actions of a sexual nature. And I saw no parents everywhere. These were like very young children and teenagers, and I guess the oldest I really saw in this dream was, it seemed like people between 18 and 25 is what I saw. So I kind of got mad in my mind of what I was seeing, and I looked alongside of where I was, and I saw a bunch of young men, and they were proud, and they were doing gang handshakes and snapping their fingers, and young teenagers were all doing these handshakes. So it was maybe gangs, I'm not sure. And I remember when I was upset at seeing these young boys do things to the women, the woman didn't say this to me, but I wrote they were so bored it was their only entertainment. So, and then it kind of jumped to another scene, and this makes no sense to me. I saw cars going down this like kind of an Autobahn highway in the middle of the night, and cars were on autopilot, and they were all arriving at a chapel of an unknown God, and they only knew that he was the God from the sky and that he forgives. And that was the end of this dream. Thank you for listening. I look forward to whatever comments and whatever the interpreters think that this is about. My only side note that I thought was interesting was I did kind of go to bed that night thinking about when would the birth pains end and what was coming, like tribulation. And I wonder if this emergency cone had something to do with when I looked up what an emergency traffic cone is about. We know what it is, but I looked it up anyway, and it said danger ahead. And then I heard a baby cry, so I don't know if that's the end of that and the birth of tribulation. I don't know, but again, I'll wait and see what the interpreters say. So thank you, everyone, and I hope and can't wait to see what you guys think. Okay, bye.